Presidential showdown. President Obama claiming that he would have beat the president-elect and won a third term. Take a listen.
I am confident in this vision because I'm confident that if I had run again and articulated it, I think I could have mobilized a majority of the American people to rally behind it. I know that in conversations that I've had with people around the country, even some people who disagreed with me, they would say the vision, the direction that you point towards is the right one.
Donald Trump firing back in a tweet saying, quote, President Obama said that he thinks he would have won against me. He should say that, but I say no way. Jobs leaving ISIS, O'Care, etc. Here now is Brad Blakeman, former Bush 43 senior staffer, and Danielle McLaughlin, liberal commentator. Thanks to both of you for joining us. Thanks. Brad, let me start with you. You know, I mean, the person this really hits is Hillary Clinton. I mean, he's like, gosh, anybody could have beaten this guy with the right vision. You know, it was just, I mean, he's really saying it was just her that didn't do it. No?
Well, I wonder if they let the president now have access to newspapers and television before he makes such a statement. This was a stunning rebuke this last election of Barack Obama. This is the year of the ultimate outsider. Donald Trump was able to do that in the primary. He did it against the ultimate insider this November. Hillary Clinton's been around for 40 years in various high-profile positions. And Barack Obama went all over the country begging people, shaming people to vote for Hillary because he said that a vote for Hillary is a vote for Barack Obama continuing the next 4 years. And stunning rebuke of Barack Obama. Danielle, and obviously he's in denial.
Okay, what's interesting about what he said is he said that if I had gone out and articulated the message, you know, that it wasn't about his popularity. He's saying, you know, the message should have won. But in truth, I mean, Democrats lost 1,042 state and federal posts under President Obama. You have the front page of the New York Times saying, was Barack Obama bad for Democrats? I mean, it almost seems like the evidence is that he himself was popular, but what he said about, you know, if he just articulated his vision, that vision would win, seems by numbers not correct.
Well, we have something called surge and purge. So what happens often when you have an administration in for 2 terms, we see the other side coming in and oftentimes taking the House and the Senate and often other down ballot races, governorships and others. Since JFK, actually, every single Democratic president who's come in has also taken the House and the Senate. To Obama's point about whether he would have won or not, further in the conversation with David Axelrod, he does say that Hillary Clinton did a wonderful job. I think that's important to note. And also the things, he talked a little bit about some of the things she suffered in terms of press bias, and we can talk about the extent of that. But this is what we see. It's elections and politics are secular. The last thing I would say is that there are some things that Donald Trump is suggesting that we do as a country that have a feeling that they're more democratic. His daughter is talking about paid childcare. He's talking about an infrastructure bill, which is traditionally a Democratic position. So I think Trump is less Republican.
Okay.
In some senses.
Yeah, Brad, I mean, this is a common theme on the Democratic side was that, you know, the election is over and it's not about the message, it's not about the direction, it's not about the policy, it's not about any of these things. It's just about Hillary Clinton, that this is an indictment of her. That's sort of the perspective that you hear coming from a lot of people on the left that feel like what they believe in is in fact the most popular point of view. It was just poorly articulated. Is there any chance that's the case?
No, this wasn't about vision. This was about a record. There was 8 years of a record of failure, abysmal failure in foreign policy, in the economy, in jobs, in healthcare. The promises that were made by Barack Obama for the hope and change was not delivered to any of the American people, regardless of where you are geographically, of your income, of your race. This has been a failure of policy, not a vision. And Hillary Clinton basically has overstayed her public welcome, and that was the rebuke of not only her but of Obama.
Danielle, how appropriate is it for a president to come out and say something like this? Because on one hand, I understand he's absolutely trying to defend his legacy and what he was here about and the road that he was marching down with people following him, at least he thought, for the past 8 years. On the other hand, to come out and say this sounds egotistical and a little petty and a little mean to Hillary Clinton, and he's supposed to be sort of riding out on a high note. What do you think?
I think it's a little bit of a waste of time, this sort of round and round about who would have won. If you look at the numbers, of course, he would have beaten Trump in both, but that doesn't do anybody any good. I think we need to get together, move forward as a country. I think President Obama will take some time, as he said in that interview, to be quiet, to be reflective. But I do think that if there are issues that arise within the Trump presidency that President Obama thinks are problematic for the core American values that we all share, I think he will say something.
Yes, I have a feeling that Trump will be tweeting and former President Obama will be sniping, and we're going to keep going down this road for a while, but hey, it makes television. Brad and Danielle, thank you.
Thank you.